Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with IRS. Welcome to my YouTube station. I'm a national expert in IRS resolution matters. Go to my website at 777irs.com. You can see all my national interviews. I've been doing this work for 5 decades, and I have worked for IRS a really, really long time. Anyway, I have a whole team of former agents on staff. What I want to talk to you today about is the art of IRS audit defense. If you're going to represent yourself, kind of tell you how we do it. If you got a small audit, you can kind of go in yourself. If you got an audit where you think your stomach is turning a little, you don't want to go in yourself. You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get eaten up by Internal Revenue Service. You don't think you are, but you are, because these are skilled people. But like I said, if you don't owe a lot, you got your records, there's no reason for you not to go in by yourself. Some people just can't do that, and some people's records warrant them going in. However, most of the time IRS is pulling you because your records aren't adding up. So let me just tell you just a couple tips that you need to know. And some of them are going to be really basic, but they're very important. Like when I say show up on time and make sure you answer all the questions you're asking. That's really important. People just blow over like that, say, that's not a big deal. What's the big thing about that? Because the IRS people agents are graded on how well they communicate, their appointment dates, and the fact that people are showing up. So if you don't get off on a good foot, that manager is going to look at that agent and not think too highly of them. They use those first contacts and first appointments to make sure you're following up. Second, you want to have all the documentation that they require. Now here's where your big tip comes in. You may not have all the documentation that it requires. This is really big because very few people do. So you got to let the agent know that you will get more documents, but you're turning in what you know that you have at the time. This way the agent knows you're still working on getting those records. People think, oh, I got to have 100% of the records when that date comes up. Well, you don't. You may not be able to get them, so don't be afraid to do that. Third, don't be afraid to postpone the appointment back. If you've got something to do or whatever, you got some personal stuff going on, it's okay to move the appointment back. This is a joint meeting. This is an interrogation. You're not showing up before the Senate Finance Committee, so you have time to go ahead and negotiate. If the agent is a little pissy, just ask to speak to the manager if you can. I'm sure you don't want to get a 3-month extension. That's something that you really don't want to do. The fourth and the really big tip is you don't have to have all your receipts. A lot of times you can do reconstruction. Let me tell you what I mean by reconstruction, and there's an art to all of this. This is how this works. Let's say you're a painter and you do not have all your bills and all your expenses for the things you painted. Well, you could go ahead and go to a vendor and they can give you the paint that you bought there, the brushes that they bought you. Go to a couple of vendors and show them these are your receipts. Also, let's say you don't have that. Well, you got to say, hey, here's the jobs that I've done. Here's 10 jobs I've done. You can ask them to pick a month. And at that point in time, you can just very simply go ahead and say, well, if I've done these 5 jobs, these are approximately the costs. Here's the size of the house. Here's the house that I did. Here's a little affidavit from the people that says I was there. I put 1 or 2 coats on. So you can reconstruct those records. IRS does allow reconstruction. If they get really pissy about that, that's when you really need to hire. So there is an art, and then there's another art at the end to negotiation. If you don't have this, IRS, give me this. And that's where former IRS agents come in, because they know the art actually of the negotiation. Anyway, those are the best tips I can give you without going on and on and on and on. Give me a subscription if you want to use this. We are some of the best in the country. Thank you.